This video is intended for a mature audience only. If you're a kid, please go away. It's about time, Konami. So guys, oh my god, I am excited. You know why? Because Konami is finally making more figures that are not just Dark Magician Girl. Okay, as you guys might be able to tell, I kind of like collecting overpriced pieces of plastic. So, needless to say, when Konami announced a little bit ago that we are getting not one, not two, not even three, but like 4 figures that are not Dark Magician Girl, I got excited, okay? So, the figure anime collection business thing is pretty popular in Japan, and it's always baffled me that Konami has never really taken full advantage of that, you know? We weebs will buy overpriced pieces of plastic and overpriced discs and overpriced everything. So, the mere fact that they are just now finally starting to move on is just great. Now, I should also mention that Dark Magician Girl obviously is not the only creature, monster, girl, waifu from Yu-Gi-Oh! That has had figures in the past. She is the overabundance of them. Like, if you go into any online seller and search Yu-Gi-Oh! Figure, you will find 90% Dark Magician Girl, and then like the 2 or 3 Yugi and Kaiba ones, the Funko Pops that nobody cares about, and the if you're lucky, you might find the Blue Eyes and the Red Eyes figures that are way too overpriced. Have you ever seen those? They're like super detailed and realistic, and would probably cost as much as a house nowadays, but it's baffling. And they are finally doing it. We are getting Stardust. We are getting good old Chaz with the Ojamas. We're getting BOS, and then we're getting a bust of freaking Exodia, and of course also Best Girl from GX, Alexis. So I think that's what makes 5. Let's see: Stardust, Black Luster Soldier, Chaz with the Ojamas, good old Exodia head. It'd be funny if they did like one bust for each piece, and then good old Alexis. So that's 5 new figures that are not Dark Magician Girl. And notice only one of those is from the original series, BOS. So, needless to say, me being a stupidly big fan of figures and a stupidly big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I thought I'd make a top 10 list of what figures I would like to see of other Yu-Gi-Oh! Creatures. Now, I want to kind of lay down some ground rules for this list, okay? First and foremost, no protagonists, no rivals or antagonists, and none of their ace monsters, okay? Because I feel like these are all dead giveaways. It would not surprise me one bit. Oh yeah, didn't we get a Yusei figure a few years ago? I just remembered that. But it would not surprise me one bit if we got a Jack Atlas and a Red Dragon Archfiend figure, or a Yu-Gi-Oh! With Odd Eyes, you know. Those, I feel like, are givens, and they will probably happen at one point or another. Instead, I wanted to focus on iconic creatures from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game or anime that I know would appeal to both just plain old anime fans, figure fans, and of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. So, I hope with taking these criteria in mind, you guys are looking forward to this list. And yeah! There was supposed to be a really awesome jump cut there, but I suck at doing editing, so instead you're getting this not so awesome jump cut. Woo! Okay, so here's my list for top 10 figures that I would love to see Konami make for Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I tried to keep a good mix of anime cards and game original cards, because I feel like both would have a great amount of appeal to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan base as a whole. To that extent, though, this is my personal preference, to an extent. If it was fully my personal preference, then good lord, it would look nothing like this. But however, I tried to take into consideration what the fan base as a whole would like, you know, both anime and game focus. And also, this is in no particular order, okay? So, just because number 1 is what it is, number 10 is what it is, doesn't mean that I don't think that number 1 should be prioritized over number 10. I'd love to see all of these get figures if possible. On that note, this is only cards, like monster cards, because characters from the anime would be an entirely separate video. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. Let's get on with this. First and foremost, number 10, Rainbow Dragon. Rainbow Dragon is an interesting card overall, and I think it'd make for a beautiful freaking figure. Like, could you imagine this as a figure? It's a beautiful creature in the anime, and honestly, my personal opinion, it's one of the most beautiful ghost rares in the game. It's also just got a really just awesome design. Like, if I were to put this in preference, this would be number 1, but I want to just get my fanboying out of the way going first. It's a beautiful card, beautiful artwork, beautiful design for a beautiful dragon. I take a shot every time I say beautiful, god dang it. But yeah, seriously, this card I would love to see as a figure. I'd buy it in an instant, like, in all honesty. You know, yeah, sure, in the game, Rainbow Dragon hasn't done much of anything, and Crystal Beasts in general haven't done much of anything. But, you know, Crystal Beast is a big fan favorite archetype, both in game and in the anime. And while Rainbow Dragon is definitely lacking in the game in terms of its gameplay, effects, and stuff, you can't deny it does not have, like, it has a great art style, great artwork in general, and would make for an absolutely fantastic figure. Moving on, we got a much bigger card in terms of, like, playability, and that is Judgement Dragon. I've actually seen people call Judgement Dragon Rainbow Dragon's little brother because they have very similar summoning effects and very similar card effects. I did not intentionally put them next to each other. But anyway, so Judgement Dragon is the boss monster for arguably the most popular archetype in the game. I mean, obviously Blackwings are the most popular, that or Heroes, I would say. But however, Judgement Dragon is definitely up there as well. You know, this card at one point was, I think it was at 1 for a while. I can't remember. I know a lot of the Lightsworn stuff got hit, but you know, while Lightsworns are in a bit of a lull right now, and JD has been phased out of the deck pretty much entirely for the most part, with the exception of a few people like me who still hold on to him because he is a beautiful boy who deserves to just destroy everything. So yeah, this card would make for a fantastic figure. It's got a, sure you could argue that it's got a pretty basic design, being literally just dragon, but they take elements of both Western and Eastern dragons. You know, it's got like the long style face, but it's got a Western style body. It's got angel wings. It's just absolutely a beautiful card, and I gotta find a better what's the word, synonym for beautiful, but it's a fantastic looking card, and Judgement Dragon would make for an absolutely fantastic figure as well. Yeah. Not much else to say. Next up, let's get into the waifus, okay? You cannot deny that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game has quite a bit of waifus, and you can't get much better than Valkyries in their bikini armor, because let's be honest, they would sell like hotcakes. Heck, I honestly was having to just put the Valkyrie archetype in one slot, because let's be honest, if Konami wanted to, they could make a figure for every single Valkyrie, and they would all sell like hotcakes, because hot anime chicks in bikini armor, let's be honest, they would sell. But I digress. Brunhilde, you know, the Valkyrie archetype, and Brunhilde in particular being a boss monster, the deck has been much really requested for a long time for the game. It's a fan favorite archetype both for the game and the anime. And, you know, I feel like with this, despite how disappointing the archetype was actually getting released, you know, still a lot of people really like it, and, you know, at least in terms of the anime and stuff, it's a well-known card, well-known archetype from one of the, from what I've seen, what a lot of people consider to be one of the best duels in the original series. So it goes without saying that I feel like at least Brunhilde being made into a figure would be absolutely awesome. You could have a figure of her riding the horse, or you could have her without the horse, and either one would work really good. She's got a great art style, great design. Even even if it is pretty bog standard bikini armor from the you know, good old from anime style, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. Let's move on to another waifu, Sky Striker Ace Ray. Let's be honest, guys, one of the best decks, like, arguably ever printed. Sky Strikers, if they made a Ray figure, people would just drool all over it. It's a that sounds bad. Why'd I say that? Anyway, don't drool on your figures. That's gross. Don't do the other thing that I've seen people do on their figures. That's grosser. But Rey would make for an absolutely great figure. She's got a great design. You could have her with like interchangeable like armor for like the various different armor sets that she wears, from Suzuku to Kagari and all that fun stuff. She's got that sword and everything. I feel like she'd make a really great Figma, like more than anything. Maybe it's just because I really like the Infinite Stratos Figmas, and she would make for a great Figma with that. Partly because I swear I feel like the Sky Striker archetype's based on Infinite Stratos, but that's just me. So Rey as like a Figma would be really, really good, and it would make for a really good figure in general with like posability and changing out like the armor and everything. So yeah, and yeah. God, I'm just basically repeating myself with this. Why am I doing this? Next up we got Gate Guardian. Gate Guardian is one of the most iconic creatures from the first Yu-Gi-Oh season of the first Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and let's be honest, yes, I know he's got that really cool toy from like 2000 or whatever, but toys are different from figures. Technically. My aunt would beg to differ, but I will argue that, and that will be my hill to die on until I die from this cold, which, by the way, I'm sorry if my voice sounds like crap. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been making videos. So yeah, Gate Guardian would make for an awesome figure as well. He's got that really cool design. He's iconic. I feel like that, like, if they really made it to where, like, maybe he could be posed a little bit, it'd be really cool. They could add some, like, really cool effects to it, like with maybe, like, thunder effects to the side that, like, can be, like, attached or detached or something. I don't know. I'm thinking of, like, all the different really cool figures I've seen that are, like, in action poses, and there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. Heck, if they really wanted to get really crazy, they could make 3 separate figures of Sanga, Suijin, and Kazijin, and then make it to where you could take off the parts and put them all together as Gate Guardian. I feel like that'd be absolutely insane, but it'd be cool, at the very least. It would cost way too much money, but it'd be cool. So, I don't know. I digress. Gate Guardian as a figure would be awesome. Then we got another big fan favorite in the Synchro department, and Trisha, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Trish is one of the most iconic Dragon Synchros in the game, banned for God knows how long, back to 3 finally, and doing nothing, but I digress. Trisha is a really iconic Synchro monster of the Synchro era, and I feel like that if you wanted to make a Synchro a figure based on it, out of all of them that is not like the Signer Dragons or something, Trishula and one other monster would be perfect. And don't worry, we will cover that other monster later on. So yeah, Trishula, definitely. Moving on, Gladderbeast Heraclinius. Heraclinius would make for a really awesome detailed action like figure. Crap, I said action figure. Now they are toys, I guess. But anyways, it'd make for a really great action pose, or also like maybe a Figma. Being able to pose him in different like styles and, you know, fighting and everything. You know, Gladderbeasts have been on and off one of the most popular like rogue decks out there. You know, heck, for a long while, but every time ban list would roll around, people would switch back to Gladderbeasts until people figured out what was good. But then, you know, that changed. Gladderbeasts just couldn't keep up, but still, you know, with Gladderbeasts seeing a resurgence, and with them still, I would say, being a really big fan favorite archetype that is, you know, actually like competitively viable and stuff, I feel like there'd be a lot of people who would really like a Heraclinius figure, so yeah. Moving on, I'm just going to put all 4 of them in one spot, the Dragon Roars. What more deserves a figure than the dastardly beasts? The Dragon Roars are arguably the most powerful cards ever made for Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen people make that argument. There's other cards that I would personally argue are better, but considering that the Dragon Roars resulted in the most degenerate and powerful deck ever made, if any game original card deserves a like figure, it's them. The 4 Dragon Roars, it'd just be absolutely awesome. They could literally just do figures of their artwork and it would be perfect. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Dragon Roars, yay or nay? I think they'd be really awesome as figures. They got great designs. People know them. People recognize them. Heck, even people who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Would probably be into them because they are just honestly cool dragons. So, yeah. Moving on, we got another waifu, El Shaddai Winda. It was either going to be her or Construct, I couldn't decide. I'm sure that'll be a waifu war in the comments down below, but I digress. Personally, I'm going with Winda because she is best girl, and I will argue that to the day that I die. That's another hill I'm willing to die on. But anyways, Winda's a fun design. It's a weird design, but it'd make for a really interesting figure. You could have her standing on top of her weird dragon puppet thing, and it would just be a really cool, really odd looking figure, and I think it would make for it really standing out amongst other figures, and that would appeal to both, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh players and also, of course, figure collectors. So it'd be very, very interesting to say the least. Some quick honorable mentions: the 3 Egyptian god cards, the 3 sacred beasts, and the 3 Nordic gods. So these guys, I feel like, at least with the Egyptian gods, they're kind of a given to get a figure eventually. But, you know, you never really know. Same thing with the Sacred Beasts, probably. I feel like they're a bit more iconic than the Nordic gods. But I feel like any one of these could really get figures, and it'd be really cool. They'd be giant. I know that, like, the Egyptian god cards did get big toys from like forever ago that are kind of like figures. I actually own the Raw one. I really want the Slifer one, but it's probably never going to come in my possession, but I digress. So it'd be really nice to see like new figures for them, and it'd also be really cool seeing figures for the Sacred Beast and the Nordic gods. You know, as much as I love the Egyptian gods, I absolutely, honestly love the maybe it's because I grew up watching GX a bit more than the original series, but I honestly find myself a bit more impartial to the Sacred Beast design, and I think it'd be a bit cooler, but that's just me. And then of course the Nordic gods, they are, well, known for, you know, being in the 5D's anime, so yeah, they would be really cool to see as well as figures, you know. So yeah, any one of these, they're just honorable mentions, because I feel like at least with the Egyptian gods, and to an extent the Sacred Beasts, are kind of dead giveaways. Not so sure about the Nordic gods, but it'd be cool seeing them as well as figures. And then number 1, the final card that I want to talk about is Dark Strike Fighter. Another really infamous card that has been banned for like ever, came back after an errata. Dark Strike Fighter was another defining card of the Synchro era, and was just an absolutely beast to be reckoned with. So again, and also it's got a great design. He's from the anime too, like of all things. He's an anime card, and he was a absolutely just fantastic meta relevant card. Heck, he was the dominating meta card for a long while. So yeah, again, in terms of like appealing to both anime and meta players, and or at least Yu-Gi-Oh players, I feel like Dark Strike Fighter would be another good one. And that's my 10. I could do another 3 or 4 top 10 lists in all honesty, but that's what I wanted to go with. If you guys want to see another top 10 list for like what I want to see in like Yu-Gi-Oh figures, let me know down below. But however, more importantly, I want to know what you guys want to see as a figure. Everybody's got their favorites. I could probably do a more personal favorites list in terms of like what I want to see as a figure, because it would look almost nothing like this. Like honestly, if this is my like personal what I would want to see, really you'd only see Rainbow Dragon, Judgement Dragon, Brunhilde, and Ray, and that'd probably be about it. But I digress. What do you guys think? Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. And thank you all for watching the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And see y'all later.